Greetings, viewer. This is your Video Game King speaking to you, and we are going to take a detailed glimpse of the faces of evil. Now, you may have some questions going into this video. For instance, why have I replaced the game's audio? Allow me to demonstrate why. I believe that is enough. Fortunately, such stuttering madness will not hamper my ability to play through the faces of evil, that one game which so very few souls have suffered through. I wish to become one of those brave souls, for your sake. But enough of me. Let us focus on this journey, rather appropriately, by ending it. Now, the first thing you may notice flying across this screen is this hideous eyeball monster. It goes by the name Sand Krumi, and it is only visible with the lantern of vision that Guanum grants upon our hero Link. Fortunately, this brings us to one of the more redeeming qualities of the Faces of Evil, the exploration. For you see, Link is thrust vulnerable into an unforgiving, uncaring world. He is expected to gather what tools fall onto his path, and find his lay of the land. It is not unlike that journey set upon his Chozo brethren. Unfortunately, even at his most powerful, the fates conspire against our gallant hero to rush him to an early demise. Take note, for instance, of the rich backdrops against which he performs. Beautiful, yes, though their excess is his undoing. What is safe ground? What is a plunge unto the abyss? Sadly, our hero will only learn this lesson far too late. Flora and Fauna, too, wish to see him fail in his quest to save the princess. Take note of how he is beset on high and on low by wyverns and scorpions. This is but the existence our protagonist leads, and someday it will end him. A man can only afford so many bombs, and by the time he can draw his sword, he will already be dead. The flame sword he bears now is but a mercy granted upon him in the final hours of his arduous journey. Darkness will come soon. Sadly, this is not the greatest enemy he will face, for you see, the most threatening danger Link will face in his efforts to rescue Zelda will be himself. Unsure of himself, he will only raise his shield when he is safest, stand only tall and proud when an armament is to be used, only switch items when he is cowering in fear, and leap without looking. However, I, as his trusty guardian, must take my share of the responsibility. There were times when I was less than careful with his well-being, leading him into fights he could ne'er hope to win. Let us say that we both had our demons to face on this adventure. Regardless of where the blame lies, this will not bring back all the lives our hero has sacrificed in honor of the fair princess. But these sacrifices were not made in vain. No, even after his many deaths, generations will still sing the praises of his conquests, making the going upon his return that much easier. But Father Time will not always be kind to our savior. Those many bombs cast against myriad foes, the ropes he threw to lofty heights, what meager income he could scrounge up from the destitute earth, the very elements he once controlled with ease, all of it fades away in the rivers of time, beyond the reach of poor Link. His only means of recovering that which once was, but now is not, is the task of hours upon hours of arduous grind. The corpulent storeman will not give him credit, so he must amass hundreds of rubies from impoverished monsters, unable to afford bombs and ropes themselves. Still, this tedium is preferable to that of ice and fire, flame birthed by snow, snow birthed by flame. He must solve these mysteries of the earth if he is to stand a chance against the foul fiend Ganon. But let us not focus on those more disagreeable aspects of this game's nature. Instead, let us ruminate upon the few blessings which the game has graciously granted us with. For instance, although you are cursed not to hear it, the music is simply divine. It harkens back to those days of yore, when platformers littered the landscape, and disc technology was but a young fledgling, dipping its toes into the proverbial waters. The landscape, too, is perhaps not as cold and merciless as I had previously painted it. This teeming world is actually quite small, only a few tiny areas to explore per level. Truly, it makes the grind and death a slightly lighter burden upon the soul. Finally, we peer upon the face of madness itself, such a twisted, inhuman creature, yet perfectly at home on the island of Kordai. Stranger still, its vicious fangs pose no threat to our hero. He must simply throw the book of justice upon Ganon, and watch him crumble. So all the tyrants of Kordai fell. It is only here that Link gave his life so that we may draw breath still. A greater tragedy this world has not yet seen. At last, the Dark Wizard Ganon is vanquished. Never will history forget the epic battle Link faced. He leaps with joy at the prospect that this ordeal is now over. I, too, express jubilation in my own special way. All that is left is for Zelda to awaken to the clarion reverberations of her knight in Viridian armor. And with that, this nightmare, at long last, reaches its disappointingly uneventful conclusion. In a way, it reminds me of the fateful day it all started. Oh, how naive I was. I truly thought that my sword would be enough, and that the wizard's warnings of the faces of evil referred to the mountains' portraits upon the land, instead of the men and women living in it. I've come so far since then, learned so much, and can finally put it all behind me. Let it end with these words of wisdom from the man we've come to know and love.
I won!